It's time for some motivation on this Monday. We have a question for you. Are you ready to turn your career challenges into powerful leadership opportunities? Well, our first guest this morning is going to help you thrive through it with the help of her new book. It's officially out tomorrow.
Joining us now is author Brittany and Cole. Thank you so much for being here, Brittany.
Thank you so much
Welcome.
for having me.
Fabulous,
I
darling.
know, love the specs.
Thank
the
you.
glasses are so
Appreciate
cute.
that. Thank you so much.
As is your book cover, so you are matching with the book cover.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. We see what the branding is doing there.
Love it.
Okay, I want to start out with a really interesting term that you use in your book. It is called career grief.
Yes.
What is that?
Yes, so oftentimes when we think about grief, we couch it in this experience of it being associated with the death and loss of a loved one. So I spent about 12 years at Pfizer as a sales and marketing leader and was often the only or one of a few in a room and experienced these emotions that I didn't really have language for until it was really after a pivotal career transition and life transition that happened to me. And I got this language of like, oh, this experience that I'm having, it's actually grief. And so I talk about 5 types of career grief in the book. It can come in the form of microaggressions. It can come in the form of not getting the job. It can even come in the form of good things. So you get the promotion, you have to relocate. And so I describe grief as any disruption in an expectation or a pattern that causes you to have to redirect or rethink how you're moving forward. Comes with this natural, unexpected, and probably the most unpredictable and complex emotion that we have, which is grief.
Wow.
It's so important to mention that because you're right. We often think of losing someone, but grief manifests in so many different ways.
So many different ways.
But for our leaders, how do they stay resilient and effective in these workplaces? Because adversity is hand in hand, really. We're gonna be up against it.
Absolutely. And so I believe we get resilience wrong. And so oftentimes when we think about resilience, we think about bouncing back. So a disruption happens, you're even experiencing identity grief, which is another form of grief. So that sense of I'm grieving who I thought I'd be by now. I'm grieving the role.
Speak on that, Brittany.
I'm grieving
That one
the
hit
role
hard.
I thought I'd be in by now, the
Yeah.
promotion I thought I'd be by now. And so when that disruption happens, we think, okay, I need to bounce back to where I was before the change, challenge, or loss. And I've learned that actually is not realistic. No one's trying to get back to 2020 or 2019, right? No one in business. No one.
Definitely not 2020.
No professional. Right, exactly. So we're all trying to move forward. And so redefining resilience is about how fast you bounce back. It's about how fully you recover. So as you move forward, how do you align your purpose, your values, and your goals with that next version and next vision of who you are and where you want to be, personally and professionally?
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, you have another point in here about aligning professional life with personal values.
Yes.
That can be very difficult. What is your advice there?
Yeah, so my advice, in my daytime, when I'm not writing and getting to promote a book, I lead an organization called Career Thrivers. And so we have a framework at Career Thrivers called your Visa. And we're a little, we kind of lean into the brand. It truly is everywhere you want to be in terms of your career. And Visa stands for your values, your personal values, your interests. What are you naturally curious about? Your skills. Have you taken inventory of your own skill set? What are those transferable skills for what's next? And the A stands for your abilities. What comes natural to you? So you want to align in your career around that. And a lot of that is based on where you are personally. So this idea that we compartmentalize our personal and professional lives is not real. I learned that through grief and disruption, that everywhere you show up fully. All of your experiences show up with you. And so you have to have that alignment between who you are and where you want to be personally and professionally to really thrive.
So they get this book in their hands.
Yes.
We're done reading it. What is one thing that you really profoundly want your reader to take away?
Yeah, I want my reader to take away that when disruption, change, and challenge hit your life, our natural lean, especially as women, is oftentimes to shrink, to pull back, and to barely survive. And I want you to know that you can boldly thrive. That even in the midst of deep grief, even in the midst of life-changing loss, where you have to redefine who you are and get a fresh vision for your life as you move forward, that you can thrive from that new place and you can step into what I call not just the now, but the next version of yourself.
Alive and thrive.
How is that for a motivational Monday segment? Okay, thrive through it, transforming career challenges into leadership opportunities comes out tomorrow. And for more information, visit atliveshow.com. Brittany and Cole, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
What a
for
pleasure.
having me, Jamina.
That was
Thank
great.
you.